Well, the second burn barrel video was an absolute disaster. We hit 30 pounds of boost and we couldn't turn it off. We posted the video and that was going to be it. And then you idiots went and left like 800 comments on there of ideas we can improve the burn barrel and make it better. This is like peer pressure on a whole nother level. What did you think we were going to do? And this brings us to turbo burn barrel revisions number 3. We're on 30 pounds.
So we have our revisions done for the burn barrel. We have a nitrous solenoid port. We have a 6-bar manifold pressure sensor so we can measure boost. Air temperature sensor. Back here we have a blow-off valve. So the idea behind this is so we can use a throttle body and hopefully get the blow-off valve to get the turbo spooling, which would be nice. We've got a wastegate here so we can control boost pressure and have mad screamer noises. On our oil pressure line to the turbo, we have an oil pressure and temperature sensor so we can measure how much pressure the turbo is getting and how hot it's getting. Around this side, we have a wideband controller, so hopefully we can see the air-fuel ratio. And here we have EGT sensors, so we can measure how hot the gases are coming out of the back of the gas turbine, which would be really cool. So here everything's wired up now. Over here we have the latest and greatest ECU controlling all of this. A Haltech Platinum Sport 2000. So here's our wastegate. We originally planned on having an electronic wastegate controlled with this Haltech DC motor, all done through this dual panel switch. We could use this as like a boost control and then have this as like a flamethrower, which would be really cool. But unfortunately the PS2000 isn't able to utilize one of these. So if anyone does know of an ECU on the market that can do that, please let us know. Here we have a nitrous solenoid. It has a 100 shot in it. We're just going to run it to a push button and see what some nitrous does on it. This is our old turbo. We've pulled the wheels and stuff out, but the turbo was completely trashed. We think it was from low oil pressure because all the bearings were completely destroyed. So we've replaced that with a new turbo. Hang tight though. You do want to see what we're going to do with the oiling system. It's probably the funniest thing you've ever seen.
All right, boys, we've come out to the secret location to test the burn barrel. Nick set up the ECU. We have 10.8 psi of oil pressure. Air temp's 120, and you're going to understand why in a minute. We've got the fire going here, so the heat's coming up the tube and just heating the air temp sensor up. So we're pretty much ready to go. So you're probably wondering what we've done for this oiling system. Check out the oiling system. We've got a dash 3 coming down here. oil pressure sensor. And then the return goes back under there to the sump. So we are not going to have any oil pressure problems today. Righto, we're probably ready to chuck the lid on, eh?
Yeah, get it fired up, I guess.
All right. Something leaking a bit. Oh. Uh-oh. Whoops. Whoopsies. I can hear a noise and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? I heard the whistle. I thought the turbo was stuck. Do we have a fuel? Do we have fuel? The boost is coming up! Yes, it's coming up! 3 pound, 3.3, 3.5, 3.7, 4. 4.2, she's slowly building. Now she's going back down. There's the EGTs. Maybe we should give it some nitrous. Oh, I didn't do the wall. Maybe the solenoid's stuck open or something. Anyway, we're running out of daylight, so we're just going to skip the firewood, and we've got fresh hot coals over here going. I'll rip the lid off and we'll chuck them in. You reckon we just chuck both of them straight in? Alright, we'll try one. Alrighty, let's go. She's building boost. Alright, let's give her some nitrous. Give it to her, give it to her. Danger to manifold. Go, 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 go. Might as well cook some marshmallows. What's the oil pressure saying? 20 pounds? 20 pounds, 23, 24. Give her some more gas. Yeah, she's coming back up. Well, the exhaust temperatures, the top one there, T1, that's pretty much in the exhaust manifold before the turbo, and then the one that's 610. We didn't have a look at the wideband. What's the air fuel ratio?
Doesn't say anything. I don't reckon it can read firewood.
Didn't get a very good first run, but the EGTs are still pretty interesting.
What were they saying?
700 degrees down here,
Yeah.
and 600 at the exhaust.
Really?
So that's really not hot at all.
No. That's not as hot as an engine gets.
And the air temp sensor was just reading 35 degrees, which is like ambient. Burning that root on the ground, look at that.
The tank got really hot, like the bottom was glowing.
What do we do? One last stick, put some more sticks and shit in there and just drop one more time? Yeah, small bits. Yeah. Well, after a 5-minute run, we still have 6 psi of oil pressure, and the oil temp's only 74. Most reliable oiling system for a turbo here.
The air temp didn't go above 50 degrees.
That's good, eh? The wideband, 35.
Doesn't work with
Doesn't
wood.
work. I reckon we should put an EGT sensor in the front here, because I reckon the front of the drum is going to be way cooler than the back.
Yeah. There's the back wheel.
Yeah, she's glowing. Rear wheel is glowing.
So we had it idling at 8 psi on the ECU, but we know that the wastegate spring is like a 1 bar spring, or like maybe close to that. So, and the wastegate was open. So I think the configuration is slightly wrong in here, but we still got a gauge of roughly where it was and that it was idling at that boost.
Maybe we can actually get a bigger pressure gauge so we can have the mechanical one side by side, and we can configure it that way too.
Yeah, that's good, because we configured that based on the spreadsheet, but that's definitely slightly off.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys, we're running out of sunlight, but this test run today went beautiful. The hardware works great. We've got all the sensors going good, but this isn't over yet. We want your stupid comments down below again. Help us improve it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.